Excellent. Glad to hear it. So one of the things that has come about, we asked some questions a while ago, and what we heard overwhelmingly was that people wanted like specifics. What can I do? What can I take into my practice in order to help me? And that's why as a board, we kind of got together and we said, okay, where's the basics? What are some of the basics? And how do each one of us do things that just put a little twist? Like, most of us do parts work. We do some type of parts work. But every practitioner, just like every massage therapist, every doctor, everybody, you put your own little twist to it. And so what we want to do now is we want to know, what is your twist things? And that can be one of the things that we had talked about when we sent out the cards and the newsletter and such. And I'll have to remember them all, help me. We've got yes sets, convincers, hearts, inductions, and the pre-talk, timelines, yes. So all of those things, with those things, or if you have something else, we would love to hear that. The something else that I thought of was that I have people fill out a quick little form when they say, yes, I'd like to have a little 30-minute session with you. I have them fill out a little form that says, what do you want to work on? And, like, what's been holding you back? What have you been doing? And then I send them a quick little video. So she was using Loom earlier. I used Vidyard because Loom kept messing up for me. Vidyard, Vidyard. And it'll give me like a little thumbnail, and it'll actually give me a little actionable a little thumbnail that's doing some stuff. So I always start with, hi, Bella. And then that's what they will see. So I use that as my thumbnail. And when they open their email, there's that little picture. And there's me, they can't hear it yet, but there's me saying hi and their name. And I just say, great, good for you. Congratulations. You are making this wonderful change. That is super. And I am so looking forward to us getting together. Now I'm going to put a link below. It's going to take you to a page that's going to answer a lot of your questions, so that way when we get together, we can focus specifically on what it is that you specifically need in order to make that change. I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day. Right? And then that's it. And I put a link below, takes them to my what is hypnosis page. And then when we do get together, we can jump right into what it is that they, and the thing is they have already started getting to know me. They've already started getting a feeling for, oh, okay, that's who it is. And we've got that reciprocity going on, right? I made a video for them. That video was specifically for them because I said, hi, Bella, when I first started it. So they know it was for them, which then makes them much more likely to come to that free session. I rarely have people not show up for that since I've started doing that. So that's my little thing. And I would love to open it up now for other people. What is it that you do? And if you're here in this room, what we're going to have you do is just step in front of that computer there to go. I will write myself a note. Yes. Vidyard. Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Joni, on the link that you just mentioned, would you be willing to just put that link into the chat, please?
I will do that. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, people, don't be shy. Not
Okay.
that hard. You do it every day.
I'll open it up.
There you go.
Excellent.
I can stand here.
Yeah,
Yeah, walk around.
this is really primitive when they make people fall. I mean, really, what kind of, oh, well, what kind of place is it? I mean, that's how you start.
Oh. So let me know if you can see me, all right?
You should show up on the screen there.
Is this good?
Yeah, you're kind of close.
Hi, Janet. How's it going? Um,
Online, we can't see Glenn. With his back, maybe?
That's because I'm invisible.
Yeah, Glenn's okay. But can you see Scott?
we good there?
In a moment, you'll be able to see when I count.
Oh, it says Scott. Oh, so that, but it's not spotlighted. So I see Hugh. There it is. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting sore. I'm new to this group. I do mobile hypnosis up in office. So how I meet people, I find it very important that I have to make a good impression right away. So I have call it an elevator. But it usually is the explanation after, what do you know about hypnosis? Or have you ever been hypnotized? Or do you like to be hypnotized? And people will respond a certain way, like, I don't know if I can be hypnotized. Everybody here is gotten that. Or I don't believe in hypnosis. Things like that. So I have a little acronym that I use. It's PIP. So P is trust. I is intelligence. And P is permission. So the way it works is like this, very brief. Okay. So the first, there's three things you need. First thing you need is to be able to trust. Now, I'm not talking about you trusting me with, trusting me with all your money or anything like that. All I want you to trust is that you're going to be well taken care of, that we're standing and you are hypnotized, and you're trusting the legs will support. You're going to trust that you have a fun time. I trust that you'll be better off in a few minutes than you are right now. You'll feel better and you'll have a better outlook on life. And I'd say there is a way for us to test how much trust you have. And all you need to do is just close your eyes for 10 minutes. People don't trust the world when their eyes are closed. So if you can close your eyes for 10 seconds, it tells me that you have a good level of trust. And they don't know that it's starting the fractionation. And it's already getting them to comply, they're starting to do instructions. And then while they have their eyes closed, I'll go into more explanation. I'm still out of it. I'll go into more explanation. I'll say, I'll say that now that this feels good, go ahead and open your eyes and look around and just close your eyes again. Notice the difference, and we call this going inside. You open your eyes, go ahead and open your eyes, and that's you're in the world, and you close your eyes, and now we've had them do that like this. And each time the trust is building, and each time they are allowing themselves to go further inside. I say go deeper, really just going deeper inside. It's not like they're going to elevators. You're just going deeper inside and into your own world. And I may even say, instead of sleep, I may say, go inside or go now. And that's where you're going, inside place. Okay, so that takes care of the T. I is intelligence. I'll tell them it's not about solving calculus. I said, all I want to know is if you can follow. And that's all the intelligence you need. So we'll do a magnetic fingers or magnetic hands, or something like that. And I'll just tell them, yeah, you have sufficient intelligence to be. And then, the P is the permission, of course, it's the handshake. And I like to do the, not confusing, the pattern interim. And it works pretty much every. I used to work on a golf course, do the, the jolting handshake. But you really can't tell if someone's got
Yeah.
a neck injury or something, so I just be gentle. So that's what works for me, GIP.
Awesome, thank you. Great, who would like to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I'm kind of shy, but I'll do it anyway.
I'm gonna sit down, I have, information of my tensor. Yes, be on a test, can you spell that? Tensor fascial network.
With cinnamon and nutmeg.
All right. So. I created a video on yes set, so in that. I got power.
That works.
Yeah, I will be.
Okay.
I didn't hear what you said about your TFL, but I have to tell you, if there's a problem with it, I could probably fix it.
Probably what?
I could probably fix it.
Yeah. I think I need to just. And they're working. Anyway, I did a video on SNET. Haven't seen that. Quite productive. Recommend you take a look at that, but I'm not gonna talk about that now. I'm gonna repeat. I'm gonna talk about embedded suggestion. So let me back up a little bit. I used to be a teacher. And whenever I think kids go home trying to say, oh, how does your teacher like you? How do you know? Think about teacher comes in, I like you all, sit down. How do that? So I like you. And it's so you can work this into a function. Talking to another one. When I online things. Say, thank you. Say, I agree, Seth. Thank you. I think, I like you. Just betting that in. I've done that with people moving into transfers. Like, it's horrible, isn't it? And then you say, I like. It's like shock. So yeah, and sort of finally amended the Atlas stuff. So it's just saying, have you ever been hit? I always say. That's
We're
not easy.
we're only catching about like every fourth word for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try this one.
Okay.
Best words to the.
How about now?
That's good.
Got it?
That
Yeah.
sounds good. Yeah, very clear.
Gosh, I don't know where to start now.
On experience.
Experience, yeah. So, and then, so that way you kind of take this away that I'm going to hypnotize you. That becomes an experience that. Oh. So I think that would be my tip. Experiencing your medicine. And be that commands. Like you. The keto is like keto. Who would like to go next? There's-
Oh. Excellent. Thank you, Glenn.
Yeah.
That was better for, the sound was better for a little bit, but on my end, it cut out a little bit. I don't know if that's just me.
No,
I-
same here.
Okay,
No, it happened. But basically, unless it's being recorded, we won't be able to hear it in the recording.
I was talking about embedded commands. Simply, I said, a teacher walks into the class and says, I'd like you all to put away your books, like you all. And that I like you to becomes the embedded command. And over, hundreds of times. And when they go home and their parents say, teacher like you, they go, yeah. Then they go, how do you know? Because it's right. Okay, want to go over here?
I would, yeah. if that's
Yeah,
okay.
so that when we can,
Okay.
perfect.
It's just a thing, it just used to be on my feet. I literally have taught everything from kindergarten to graduate school. So I mostly taught elementary, but I taught art in middle school and sophomores in college and graduate students. I'm at university.
So a few years ago, I had a hip replacement. And before the hip replacement, a colleague of mine sent me a link to a book called Prepare for Surgery, Heal Faster, Mind Body Techniques. So I read the book and I just thought it was incredible. I had already gotten certified in hypnosis and life coaching. So when I woke up from my anesthesia, I was hungry and thirsty, and I felt great. I walked around room, not just room, but the whole floor twice with a walk. And I just recovered so fast. And the program was called Prepare for Surgery, Heal Faster. So I was so excited about it. And it's an incredible program because it does use hypnosis. There are 5 steps. And the first step is a hypnotic recording. The woman who developed the program and really wants everyone certified to use her recording. That's what I do.
Oh.
It's an incredible recording where visualize your healing as it's happening now. 3 parts. The first part is right after right after you're out of surgery, and visualizing how you feel comfortable, have the client. But second one is about 2 weeks after surgery, and you visualize yourself in your favorite thing where they. Third one is visualizing yourself totally recovered. So second part to it, talking to the anesthesiologist and telling him that you have healing statements marked into while the patient is under anesthesia. And really remarkable. I got a text last night from a woman at surgery yesterday saying that the anesthesiologist was so excited about this healing statement that he said that everyone should be. That was pretty incredible. Another one is creating a support group. People that love you, friends or family, and having them visualize you feeling blanket of carpentry. And you always have color, texture, and so you're really feeling. And anyway, the healing statements are really. I had my surgery when I went through this program. The healing statements, the first one is right beginning, and you say that the anesthesiologist or the nurse is going to have a wonderful surgery, 7 months, doing great, at 5 times. Third one is done great, you're going to be comfortable, you're going to heal very quickly, and you're going to be hungry for a bit. You're not going to have that. When I woke up, I asked my husband to get me a very free sandwich, turkey and chicken. I ate the whole thing. I couldn't believe it, because usually I've had always gone off. And I thought, anyway, that's my story, but I think that, you know, using the twice a day.
Hey, I went around the country and taught dentists and doctors. This technique instead of anesthesia. He also warned them that anything they say under anesthesia, he would. That's terrible. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, who would like to go next?
Anybody online?
I was gonna say, anybody online there?
All right, well,
You gonna go?
I'll be a stand-in.
Okay.
I'm the stunt. How is everybody today? Probably have a part that's ready and willing to learn. And there's probably another part, at juncture in time that says, well, outside, maybe catching a great movie someplace or this. And so we recognize that we have parts. So we have this wonderful thing, parts integration. And if we follow the parts integration all the way back, I would admit that it started with Taoism, with yin yang. And the unfortunate part, problems are simply, and the two forces, the yin yang, so what we're really doing, parts of it, trading, are working out of balance or opposing brother. So one of free respect, because there's always resistance, whether it's or the opposing part thinking it's doing something good for the. And so that's what we started basically. But it's this understanding that we have a part that perhaps wants, and we have a part that resists. Our job is to use, but we only do that by their basic needs, because we know that that part that resists thinks it's doing something good. So of course we've got this beautiful trance-inducing process where we talk. And we identify, well, I want to stop. Is that part of me want to? Well, it might be to not be. I mean, or perhaps it's longevity, you want to be around, share all those good times. And those are all really perfect desires. Well, then we talked about, realize that in this part, God was doing something good. Number one, other people, so I well, it's my excuse to get away from the job because they'll let you go. They have meditation work. So we know that that part was that part wants them to be stress free, and that part wants them to
They want to
take
take a break from work.
me time, myself, self love. And if you had a friend, I mean, older, I mean, helping you connect with conversations and helping you get that written way of love stuff. What the hell would they? But if that friend was poison, however, we know that the idea is is right, but the way of going about coming out dysfunctional and detriment. Oh, there's one wonderful thing on parts of we start having these parts. So we start by having the client close their eyes and this part that wants me to stop funking out. That part that resists me for wanting me to stop. Having ways of reducing stress and that time and break away from it. And for the first time we have this part, parts where it's implementation. And then of course we have this, okay, this whether it's weight loss. We have this part. Doing this with our clients, we generally touching on each one of them. Over together, transforms them. So we're now having that part that resists, thank that part that in the past wanted, taking in healthy, smell better, control that longer. And then what we do is sometimes you don't even imagine those parts are, and this part is really that part taking stress free. And this part is healthy, a long life, and that part. And then we have a subconscious mind now to oh, and as that subconscious mind now works out all of the details, one has to give up anything. And if those hands just begin to come together, just as if magnets would. And as they become closer and closer, you find that those two parts work out all the details of the relate more. By part, the font, give it a shape, size, and color, give it a logo, whatever. Give it that identity. Those two parts come together now, they work out. But sure, whenever you have that craving, that need to get out and make for more, or to get relief, or connect with someone, you will instantly, automatically find yourself looking. And then as those hands come together, of course, is that new part that is a kind of our toes. Now what we do is he knows and understands it. Yes. Making sure that we have that one. that we are. But then at the same time, help us be stressed and get that break away, then we breathe. And you can hear it happening. The sound. You bring that in, and we let that, now to pretend, think about that energy now, right? Our compound, the veins, there is in every cell of you. And when subconscious can be known, things as you should. Allow your knowing that they will all do it. The subconscious mind has done. Lots of different ways to do that. We know that the subconscious mind can't recognize it. Just imagine this part of me that wants to be a non-smoker can be around. And this part over here is a script. As they come together, they form you. We know it's just within that action, subconscious mind, what's the new neuro actions that allows it to formulate. That's how she works. That's what I know as far as.
Nice, thank you.
Scott, is there anything you guys can do with the audio because it's still going in and out?
Yeah,
How do you handle on clients? They want to put smoking.
So the question was for,
the question is, how do you handle a person who wants to stop smoking? But they still want to be able to smoke pot? Because we have that conversation with the subconscious mind that we are only talking about it has nothing with smoking. And as long as we have an agreement, they get that agreement. Otherwise, the subconscious mind will never smoke again. Oh, it's, I'm not saying.
Your audio is still going in and out.
Yeah. That's that.
okay.
Any better?
Yeah, it is. Well, it's really clear when we can hear it.
Better.
And then it just dies. Like it just goes in and out. I don't know whether it's losing a signal or if the wires are loose.
Something's going on. Thank you for bringing our attention to that.
I didn't want to interrupt you in the middle of it all.
But thank you for that. Let's see what was happening.
That's going to create quite an echo. Yeah.
I wonder if just you hold the little mic and just hold it and speak into the mic.
Yeah. We'll try that on.
You're muted, so I can't hear you.
No, you should be fine. You should be able to hear him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's not going through his.
Did you hear?
Oh, yeah, I could hear that.
Okay, they could hear it that time.
Okay.
We could also swap these.
Yeah, let's try swapping this.
Okay.
See what happens.
Jean had one that she wants to share.
Yes, and can I share my screen because I have a diagram?
Yes.
Okay,
Be able
so,
to share screen.
all right, it's not a, all right, oh. It's saying it's disabled.
Disable you are a co-host, aren't you? Oh, no. Sorry, I thought I made you co-host at one point. Let's do this. There you go.
Thank you.
Right now.
All right, so let's see if that's it. Firefox. Oh, not 1, 2, sorry. All right. I don't know how this is. Let me minimize that. Let me minimize. All right, we're going to see if this works. All right, good. So one of the things, I had a client who was being really stuck about something. And the name for this this idea will be familiar to people who've had NLP, is if you think about, we've got or done timelines work, there's the past, there's the now or the present, and there's the future. And we can think of the first row is the first person, which is from me, my perspective. The second row is going to be you, whoever another person is. And then the third row is going to be an observer. And I had a client who was stuck with something, and she said, I just can't see it. And excuse me, it was a problem. It was a problem that she was having. Well, that didn't work. It was a problem that she was having with her partner. And I said, I had her go into this first position, and I had her remember what it was like, what she was experiencing in the past from her point of view about that issue. And then I asked her to imagine, what was it like? What was her partner experiencing in the past? To at that same memory, what was he probably feeling? What were the thoughts that were probably going through his mind? And I actually did this really quickly. So I didn't have her say anything. I just told her the idea. And then I said, well, what about if there was someone who could see you, some observer who was there at that incident in the past, and they were seeing the two of you having this disagreement that's been a pattern of disagreement for decades with this couple. And then I said, okay, so you just told me about this disagreement, the same type of disagreement that you had this morning. So you can think about, what was that like standing in your shoes, now, today? What was that experience like? What were you thinking? What were you feeling? What were the thoughts going through your head? Then you can think about your partner. What was your partner experiencing today? What was it like to be him having this interaction with you this morning? And she said, well, he probably wasn't liking it either. And I said, okay, so, I just made a couple, I don't say too much. I was just guiding. And then I said, and what would someone else see? What would someone else observe if they were there in that room with the two of you this morning when you were having that disagreement? And then I said, so what if this is 6 months from now? What if this is 1 year from now? And you're looking back, a situation comes up and you and your partner had this, you just have a really positive interaction. Whatever the issue was, you're able to talk about it. You're both able to hear each other. And of course, I was using the things that she had said about wanting to be heard. So I was bringing the things she had said that were her goals into this future, into this box, this future self box. So, and then you realize that you can look back and you can remember how it was in the past so long ago when that had happened. And you could remember today when you were at this place and time where you stepped into the future to imagine what it's going to be like. So here you are in the future and the experience you're going to have. What's that going to be like for your partner? how's he going to be feeling now that you've already been doing it for, I don't know how long, 3 months, 6 months. You've already been having good communication where the two of you are really present for each other. And then what if I or somebody else was a fly on the wall 6 months or a year in the future, and I could see, or whoever observer could see, maybe floating in the top of the room, what a lovely relationship you have, that an issue can come up and you can both be heard. You can both share. You can understand. You have that type of a relationship now. And both of you have always known that it was possible. And here you are. It's true. So this is actually based upon some work by Charles Faulkner, who's an NLP guy. He created a game called Tri-Murti, where he talks about this. I tried to get a copy from Charles, but excuse me, it's out of print. Two other things that I use, just a couple of things. Utilization, a la Milton Erickson. I'm always trying to use what the client gives me, whatever it is. Another thing that Erica and others, Erica touched on today, is whatever experience our client is having, it's natural. It's natural. It's all natural. And then another thing, sometimes I've had a hard time guiding clients to where I think they need to go. I think they've got some discomfort around the topics that they have, right? I think people have to be pretty uncomfortable before they're willing to come to us to get some change. Excuse me again. And so that discomfort, they don't want to go there, and yet they're here either on Zoom with me or they're in my office. And this question, what is the most useful thing? I'll take that S out. What is the most useful thing that we can do today? So those are my shares.
Awesome.
And I'd actually like to do a presentation on the work, the Tri-Murti work that Charles Faulkner has done. And I might be able to talk him actually to be able to doing it. Maybe even a mini workshop. Maybe we could bring mini workshops, and we've got our 3 main events. Maybe OHA could do mini workshops.
Anybody have questions for Jean? I think so. Great. Thank you. Anybody else want to share? Should I say who wants to share next?
Hi, this is Kat. I'd like to share something I think has become pretty powerful. And I know a lot of people who are in this room are artists of some kind. And whether you are a musician or, whether you're the kind of artist like this, you're bringing art into your session. And there's a new therapeutic model that really takes in working with art and aesthetics. And it's been found within the first 20 minutes that a person will make change on an unconscious level if they're involved in some form of art. And anybody who knows me knows that there will probably be a picture, there could be a mind map, And very likely, I will be handing my clients something that's going to make them either draw, or they might possibly sing a little bit, or there's going to be a picture. And many of you may have like oracle cards where a person can take a moment and you can say, well, I want you to get in your mind the biggest question you have before we start our session. And I'm going to just take a couple of pictures, except I won't know what they are. And I'm just going to ask you if you want to pick one of these. And we've seen this before. OHA, somebody did this, and I've been doing this for years. But if you're online, then you would say, just tell me when to stop. And I know these cards come with directions, but who's saying you have to follow directions? You know, it's only a suggestion, as my partner, Rich would say. So when they say stop, and I don't know, Joni, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. Oh, there's your card. So there's
fun.
yeah, I know. What a good thing to bring in. There's a little book, and I haven't read the instructions, but if I was just to read the story behind this picture and have you focus on this picture, and the fun part is my mom has dementia, and I use these cards with her. And I have to tell you, there's a lot that happens unconsciously when you have some kind of an image. The power behind this is exponential, and I really encourage everybody to do something. And if you say, well, I'm not an artist, that's not really what it's about. It's about bringing in some level of color or something. Okay, so Joni, I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. And because I know it's kind of fun, I'm going to stick my nose in it. Okay, so the pumpkin abundance, and let's say you pick this for everybody in the room. Everybody gets to use this, okay? I move my finger. I had my finger over here. Okay, here we go. So the pumpkin symbolizes abundance. The pumpkin belongs to the genius Cucurbita, and the family Cucurbitaceae. If anybody has a better pronunciation, just pretend I said it. It is to gourds and squash. The word pumpkin originates from the word pepin, which is Greek for large melon. References to the pumpkin are recorded at least 3,000 years ago in Celtic tradition, in conjunction with the celebration of Samhain, pronounced, Samhain. Samhain. It is a magical night when pumpkins are carved to welcome deceased loved ones. In ancient times, glowing ambers were used to illuminate them and were later replaced with candles. This helped to guide the spirits, and this tradition has continued, and the pumpkin, known as the jack-o'-lantern, is part of the Halloween celebration in the USA. Pumpkins were grown and used as a food source by Native American Indians and European settlers. They are associated with the coming of fall and the rich harvest of the summer. And then it's got this special message at the bottom that says, the pumpkin is full sound. Oh my gosh, it's so hard for me to read that. I got to look at its side. Special message. The pumpkin is full, round, brightly colored, and has a multitude of seeds. You have an abundance of ideas, and this is a good time to cultivate them. So online, or if I'm in person, first thing I want to do is I want to just offer an opportunity for some type of visual. And when it comes to healing, and healing happens on mind, body, and spirit. And there's been so much that's been revealed to me just in this past almost a year and a half, it seems, that I've been doing caretaking and bouncing back and forth. And the whole time I've needed to fit in just, a few sessions, just enough to kind of keep things in place. And it's interesting how much another person's healing comes back to you. Images are so healing. And when you ask a person, you know, where are you at right now? And anyone who's attended our classes knows all about image work, right? Or many of you have attended other classes. What is your experience right now? What's the first image of a plant, animal, or object? Noticed I didn't say a person. A plant, animal, or an object that comes to mind. And then you sit back and you be quiet. And then you can ask them, well, I want you to walk around it and tell me what you notice. All right, go underneath it. And what are you aware of? Go above. And you're doing these one at a time. So that means when they walk around it, they go, well, you know, I see this and I see that. I hear this, I feel that. And you're listening to find out, well, are they visual? Are they auditory? Are they kinesthetic? Are they talking about what they smell? You know, are they talking about what they taste? You're just paying attention. And you don't interrupt or make suggestions either. You just let them do it. Underneath, what are you aware of as you're paying close attention? And then when you go above, what do you notice? And you might notice, I'm not saying, what do you see? It's kind of like, what do you notice? And then if they're not coming out with particular things, you might say, is there something you see? Do you hear anything? Do you feel anything? Why don't you jump inside the object and what are you aware of? And then after that little thing, you just kind of take a moment and you make a few notes, but not too many because you want to get rid of this one, right? And then you say, now at the end of this time, we're going to be moving to another image. And at that point, you can either do the whole image work and take them on a bridge and go to the other side and do all that, or you can bring that up at the very end. But this is a really nice way for the person to get out of, you know, inside here and come out so that they can look from another side. You know, neurolinguistic programming will say, you know, Gregory Bateson says wisdom is 3 or more perspectives. And we've already heard some people talking about, you know, you get into the position of yourself and the other as well as an observer. And when you get that view or you get that sound or you get that sense and you get the image healing, the person is the one who does it, right? Right? Okay, so that's the one who's doing it. And by the time you get to the period where it's almost over, you might want to just kind of say, so how's the pumpkin? Are you enjoying the pumpkin? Was this a good pumpkin for you? So it's just a little thing. There's so many things I like to do, but I know you're also very smart. It's nice to hear everybody else's ideas. So thank you for letting me share one of mine. And as you know, I believe image work is very, very powerful, but it's not just image work. Scott or anybody will tell you music is art, as is, you know, being a chef, making a salad, or making sourdough bread. So.
Thank you. Who else would like to go? Anybody?
Just want to share. That was on my pages with the.
She's got at least 10 pages there.
The, I'll, a quick note is that the battery on my iPad is getting really low, so if that goes black, that's why.
Okay.
Can you plug it in?
I can't, but if I plug it in, then it disconnects. from-
Okay,
Wisdom
Tish.
app.
Little mic for you.
Oh, no, I thought you. Doing something. Okay. I just want to make a statement. Every conversation we have is pre-talk.
Make sure you hold the mic really close. So hopefully the people, no, you don't have to get close. You just have to hold the mic close. Oh, okay.
Okay. Every conversation we have is a pre-talk. If you pay attention and if you're listening rather than paying attention to what you're going to say next. Because when you're in that listening mode, it is amazing the wealth of knowledge you will glean from that person. And that's what we're about. Now, I have a whole your what's the worksheet called?
Intake?
The intake form. Thank you. Some hypnotists will do the intake form and they have it online. So when you go to them online, then you can fill it out there. Some will do it in the office. It just depends on, you know, how you choose to do it. I kind of like watching them do their intake and then asking a few questions as they do it. Because I get to watch them. I get to see which hand they use. I get to see their micro movements. I get to see how much they breathe. I get to see which question makes them nervous. It's everywhere, all this intake. But we also know that when we do intake, and it can be anywhere from just 15 minutes, maybe another 15 minutes. What else? Depending on what you're covering. Some will go right into a hypnosis session if they feel ready and the client is ready. Others, that's just an intro time. And they do all that intake and they assess and they think, okay, how can I best serve this client when we make our first session? All the information. But the information that hopefully you were gleaning when you were listening to them. When you're going to create rapport. It's just in the given. Number two, you and your client are going to set those expectations. Now, I'm going to share a little of the name of a little book that I discovered on Pre-Talk. And the first thing she says in it, which I found extremely valuable. So once again, if you don't get anything from this, get this. When the person comes in and they sit down, you're not going to say, I repeat, you're not going to say, why did you come here? Don't use the word why. Use the word what. What is it that brought you here today? Because when you use the word why, it gets you in your analytical brain. And all the analytical reasons to why, oh, I don't know about hypnosis, I don't know about this, or I don't know about that, all of a sudden that word. But if you say, what brought you here today? No, that's personal. So I mentioned this to Scott in the car, and so we practiced a little thingy on, well, what brought you here today? Or why did you come? And so we were playing this thing back. So Scott, why did you come today?
Great food,
Great
good company, good knowledge,
Yeah. What brought you here today?
the car. The wind,
The car. What brought
the
you here
desire to learn.
today? The desire to learn, desire for change. It changes immediately. Notice that how good that. So remember that. That's really good. And they come, be educated, to address any concerns, apprehensions, reinforce that they are always in control. They can't be made to do anything they don't want, nor will they expose anything. They're so afraid of this. We are not a truth serum people. Well, they're just not that. And emphasize how safe hypnosis is. Whether addressing myths or being hypnotizable, reinforce that having listened to them, find and I'll say, Mary, I've listened to you, and I know every information you have given me, you have a strong mind, and that you're not gullible, but have the strength. And because of that, I see that in you, and I know hypnosis is the perfect beat. Ready? Want to get your first appointment? Get it wet. Cover some of the myths, such as the usual ones, not unconscious, access the unconscious. But you have increased awareness to sensations, sounds, and imagination, and will hear everything. That's one thing that gets a lot of people. They think when they go under hypnosis, and they're not going to hear you. Yeah, they're gonna hear everything. They're going to notice that their muscles will relax. They cannot not relax. They just, if you know what you're doing. That is all true. And tell them, feel energized. I said, feel this, and I feel that. So that they know kind of, I suggested what, oh, you're this. We need to pick. Speak to the average person. Notice again, I think Catherine brought this up about, are they using the auditory, the visual, the kinesthetic words? Explain hypnosis and what hypnosis in trance is. Ages to go through. And you explain trance because everyone can eventually understand trance because it happens all day long. When you can connect with that. In fact, here I have, this is especially good for those who believe they can't be hypnotized, when actually you slip into a trance state every 90 to 120 minutes. You can do that. And then you say something like, there's white noise that we get lost. Rhythmic moving like trains, boat in the water, hammock, swinging, rockers, being absorbed in TV, cell phone, or both. Where we go. Hypnosis aligns the conscious and unconscious, temporarily relaxes the conscious mind in order to access the unconscious from ease, introduce new positive ideas. Reinforcing that all suggestions are for their benefit, that the two of you previously. Once the conscious mind accepts an idea, it goes to the unconscious, where it then accepts and behaves as if it's true. Then you get to reinforce all the many reasons hypnosis is so good. Then during your talk, you can create your own checklist to make sure you've covered all the topics. There's tons of them. Don't go over it, but just make sure you cover it. And always it's the same thing. Have your best interest. So if it just make a handout and they can follow as they read through to you, so they do their check. It's great because it covers the 3 areas. Others make a short introductory video which covers all of the pre-talk information which you watch together and then discuss any thoughts or concerns. I like it, but I don't like it. It's like going to the dentist and you're going to have a procedure done and they make you sit in this room and they play this video so you can watch what's going to happen. And I feel so disassociated from my dentist. And then they come in and go, do you have any questions? Well, I got a million questions. When this was happening. But some people. But the book I wanted to share with you, it's very, very short. It's almost like a pamphlet. And it's called The Essential Hypnosis Pre-Talk with Strategies. And it's by Neha Pragapakar. Okay, she's in. It's Neha, N-E-H-A, Prabhakar, R-A-B-A-K-A-R. And here's what she covers. How to talk when clients call. She has a whole script on when they call you, what to say. How to know beforehand, right in the session. The time, what visualization or relaxation types of suggestible, building rapport, levels of hypnosis, inventors, framing suggestions, hypnosis. She has it has an intake form you can copy. And she does an example of a talk, walks you through an example of anger. Oh, well, this is, when were you last angry? Yesterday. What triggered that? Okay. And it was kind of like, Mandy said today, walking them through, okay, and imagine, working through that and seeing yourself on the other side. It's a great little book. It's like a pamphlet. You'll enjoy it. It's fun. So that's all I wanted to share.
Hey, super, thank you.
Yes. I say, oh, well, that's fine. We don't have to use religion, but I know that you can use your imagination. You can imagine your life stronger. I have people that come in for past life. And I have some Christians don't believe in past life. But it's really easy because genetics has proven that there's memory in our genetics, and all we're doing is tapping into that genetic line that comes through their great uncle. They can accept that. They just can't accept going out and
Hot tub society, they advertise every day. You're driving a car, and out, because they were being advertised every day, so.
that's true.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That is true.
I think we should look at
Yes.
it.
And it is. Well, it does, plus, they learn with the hypnotist. To him, I have now submitted, y'all know, we've done yes steps, we've accepted, we've made the appointment. We're already there. Now I've surrendered what I take to be my will, Larry. And so Larry knows how to handle it. But I understand that, and that's why we address those fears and concerns. That I was gonna get you. Well, you know what? If indeed that is a belief, I don't want to offend anyone, but if indeed that is a belief, that is a structure, it's going to happen whether you're in hypnosis. If you believe it. Then bye.
Yeah. Will this one work? No. Okay. All right, thank you. Hopefully you can hear. Now is the time when we are going to ask Jean to give us our treasurer's report. I know that the people that are on Zoom are having a very difficult time hearing. They couldn't hear much of what Tish was saying. So hopefully it comes through on the recording. So Jean is on.
Before,
You'll be able to hear her.
before Jean, could I say something?
Yeah.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
I would just like to honor everyone's presentation, and this has happened to me before. So I was a kindergarten teacher, primary teacher, and I did so much with integrative storytelling with themes, titles, little songs before and after to frame the story. And they were scarf stories, so they were on a little low table. The children would sit around, there'd be things from nature, and the scarves would unveil another part of the story. Another day I would retell it another way. The children started doing it. Another day they would act it. And just, it just gives me chills, all the magic of the imagery, the arts, the creativity, and the profound presence that Erica was showing me and reminding me. It's like we all have that. It's just that whoa. And so I just would like to thank everybody's styles, because I come from that primary perspective and figure out how to bring it into an adult offering. And it's pretty amazing, and it's just an honor. So I just wanted to say thank you, everybody.
That's great. Thank you, Joy. I appreciate that. All right, Jean.
All right. Okay. So Tish does have some copies if you want to print out of the treasurer's report to look at, and I can also email it to anybody who would like to see it, to have a copy. And I'm happy answering questions too. So this is for, as you can see, 1 calendar year. And the first page is profit and loss. So there's our income breakdown. Basically, our income comes from our meeting registrations and our membership. And then our operating expenses, there's a lot that we do to make these events happen and to provide the services we do for our members. The main thing you, of course, have noticed that we had a net loss in the last year, and that's because we did this website upgrade, which was a big piece, and I hope that everybody has been appreciating this, and we're going to continue to work on this, and I'll be contacting people about updating their directory listings, so expect that contact. The newsletter is a big part of what we do. Of course, our events. Then on the back side, if you want to look at, is the balance sheet. So you can see we are very much doing fine financially. Here's the amounts in our accounts. If you have any questions about this, let me know. Or I should say, does anybody have any questions about this?
I think you're doing a great job, and I'm glad it's you and not me.
Yes.
Well, it's actually easier than you might think because there's a fantastic software program, and because we all work together to make this to make all of this happen. And let's see. I have a couple notes. Oh, so one of the things is I want to thank our and somebody else may have said this, I may have missed it, but I want to thank our first time guests who are here as part of joining us. And if you like what we do, if you find value, if you find community, if this makes your heart warm and fuzzy to be part of this event, either by Zoom or to be there in person. I wish I could be there in person, but even to be able to connect from a distance. If you want to be part of our community, be part of our community. And for some people, we have some people who live across the country that occasionally tune in for some of our presentations, and they aren't members. They pay our non-member price. And we have, of course, membership, which gives you a directory listing on our website, which is a resource for the public and advertising for you. And so there's a bunch of different ways you can participate, and you can tell your friends, your colleagues, to say, hey, I had this really great experience, and come be a first-time guest with us, either in person or by Zoom. So I think that's all I have.
I'm a member. I've been a member for a while. I just hadn't known about the meetings until now. And so I have a question because I didn't realize until I was heading out the door that it was actually in Wilsonville today. So I turned around, I came back home. Are they always down there? Are the meetings always in Wilsonville?
Yeah, right now we're having them in Wilsonville. We were trying to make it a little bit closer for people that live south. So Salem, Eugene, or in Gene's case, Coos Bay. So a little bit closer, but still close enough for the people that are in the Portland and Vancouver area.
Okay.
And they're also by Zoom now. So we love being able to have this hybrid kind of a meeting. We had talked about it for years, and then 2020 happened, and we decided that, okay, now we really have to do it. And this seems to be working out really well. It's lovely to have people like Kat that are coming in from Illinois and other places in the country, and to also be able to have our presenters come in from other parts of the world. So that's great.
I appreciated having the option.
Yeah, Jean.
I'd like to make another comment about the amazing people that we have who come to these events. You know, we are a modest organization. We aren't big, we aren't fancy. And yet we have so many wise, experienced, insightful, intuitive, intelligent, you know, from the mind, from the heart, here to make a difference for people in their lives and in the world, to live in a more empowered way, and in alignment with, for people to live in alignment with themselves. And I'm just touched every single time. And even, for instance, Joan, this was my first time interacting with you besides a little bit of emails. And you're awesome. I want to know you, right? Enjoy. You've been tuning in for a while, and of course, but this is the first time that you've spoke about what you do, and I want to hear more. And
Can
I
I tell
want.
you, can I tell you a truth about you?
Oh, yeah.
As far as my experience, but it could have been, there was a time, and this is years ago now, when I think you first came to an OHA in-person seminar where you're meeting somewhere up there today. And I'm pretty sure you were new to hypnotherapy, but my soul and my heart linked right into your passion. It was amazing. Now, I could be incorrect with the date and when that was, but I've known you since I first knew you. So, but it's been a long time.
I
Anyway,
think I think it's been at least 7, maybe 8 years.
right. So that's pretty amazing, but I've appreciated your spirit along with everybody else. But mostly I haven't spoken up because I have an elementary background, but I've had so many different trainings. So it's working to speak up in the adult language that sometimes holds me back. But individually, I do well, and I used to facilitate workshops decades ago. So who knows, maybe I'll have a new haha moment and develop a new retreat plan. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah,
Joan,
Kathy.
hi, is it okay if I share something? So I've had the opportunity to witness a lot of people here today, some that I don't know, and I have a feeling there's people I know Bella and you know, certainly I know Jean and some of the other Scott and you and a number of other people I know really well. And some people may have wondered because there's been different information, and I just wanted to share so everybody knows. We had to close the Positiva building, which we've had for over 25 years, because we had water intrusion problems. And I think there's a lot of lessons when you go through switches and changes. And I want everyone to just take a moment and appreciate where you are right now and who you've met, because there's no accidents for anything. I mean, I could say, well, you know, it's accidents because first we had a septic backup and then we remodeled. And then, you know, of course, we had COVID before that. And of course, there was the water intrusion. We actually have mushrooms growing over in the floor, beautiful center. But a couple people said, well, didn't you think it was the universe trying to tell you something? And there was so much that I learned about remodeling, and so much I learned about who came to help when we needed it. And the other thing was, when you think about your business being affected by internet or wind or mudslides or fire. And my brother lives up in the Santa Cruz Mountains and has had everything: earthquakes, mudslides, fire, flood, everything. There is also something else. There's a silver lining in everything. And there's a piece of us that we leave with every single client. And when we share are positive stories about something where there was something that seemed like it was a very dark cloud, but then we reveal that there was something else that came out of it. There's a real beauty in what we get to learn along the way. And the more challenges we face, I think the stronger soul you are. And we meet strong souls in this group. And for all of those of us who really believe in past lives, we probably picked this journey. We probably did. You know, we probably picked and we said, hey, let's all show up on Earth and do this. So if you ever find yourself feeling a little bit low, I'm sending you this message from my heart. Know that there's something really beautiful hiding behind the cloud. And no matter how hard it seems, you're going to come up from it. It's just a few breaths away. Use every single tool you learned. Don't just be the one who tells other people what to do. You know, practice what you preach. And remember, your words become real. And I have so much appreciation for the words that every one of you have sent me. I've gotten emails from a lot of people or cards in the mail. And I want you to know that there were some pretty dark clouds that you chased away with your sunshine. So, you know, keep on being the sunshine in somebody's life. And remember, you know, your words have power. And silence has power too. So anyway, if anyone wants to know anything else, I'll basically say, we learned a lot, and my partner Rich and I are still around. I'm probably less around, but just because something happens to your building or your office, somebody said something to me, which I think is really, really important. You are not your building. You're so much more. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you, Kat. Appreciate it. All right, anybody else before we go? Bella has a question. Oh, okay. So there was, so the question was the thing that is a new requirement that's being overseen. Did you see the email that I sent a while ago? And it had all the information. Did you have all that information in the newsletter? Okay, so I will send out, I will find that email and I'll send it out again. There is a, okay, I'm one of those people that can't do two things at once. So I need to just write this down before I forget. There is a new thing that's out, and I don't even remember the details anymore. It was so easy to take care of it, but it does need to be done. It's kind of like the Secretary of State when we have to go in and we have to say, hey, you know, we are a place. We have to do the same thing federally now. They want to have it all in one database so that they know, because what's happening is apparently the United States is a great place to launder money. Who would have known, right? But we're a great place because there's nobody that's really looking at it. And so that's what the feds are trying to do, is they're trying to catch all the little places that aren't actually companies. You're not actually doing anything. You're just laundering the money. And they could get all that information from the individual states. However, if they did that, it would all come in different ways. We know how that is. You know, everybody uses a different kind of a platform. And so what they're doing is they're requiring everyone to do this. For people that have been in business, I think it was before the beginning of 2024, those people have a year to get it done. However, the fines are really hefty. It's like $500 a day. So just get it done. And once you have it done, I think they only have to do it once. I'm not sure about that. But it's really quick. So just get it done. People that are just starting, they have to get it done. I believe it's within 30 days that they have to get it done.
But actually,
Yeah, it's registering your business. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Bella. Anything else?
There's a fee though, you usually have to pay.
I don't know that there was a fee with this particular one. I don't remember. Like I said, it was so quick, so easy that I just got online and I was finished in a couple of minutes. Yeah, super quick. In the state, you have to pay. Yeah. This is federal thing. Yeah. All right then. Thank you.
Oh, Joni, let me just add one more thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people know, and you know that we do this, but there is a core group of people who were involved in creating a bill to protect the rights of alternative therapists, and that includes people doing hypnotherapy, coaching, Reiki, a number of other things. There is kind of like we've got a little watchdog group, and I'm the person who posts the meetings, and we have those usually every couple months so that we're still kind of keeping on top of something called a safe harbor bill. There's nothing right now in Oregon that would be threatening us right at this moment. However, just to put out for everybody's consideration, please make an effort and find out who your representative is in the area in which you live. Find out who your senator is. And it seems pretty obvious to some of us, but not everybody really pays attention to that. And if you could become aware of what you would say to them if you had a chance to talk to them, because as Joni and Scott and a number of other people know, I mean, we've shown up at Salem to try to make sure that our rights as hypnotherapists are protected. But if you ever need to talk to your representative, it would be really, really helpful if you had some form of a relationship. Even if you sent them a letter and said, I like your policies, or thank you for being in office, or something to put a flower, in a vase for them. Because when it comes time, and if anybody comes up and something shows up on the horizon, it's like we all have to jump into the pool and swim and get to know who your representative is, your senator. And Joni, you're in on the emails with John and all of us from the health. Okay. So anyway, we'll be meeting again. I think it's May 14th online, but only the people who are serious about participating and just kind of watching out in case we have to get a bill in there really fast are there. But if anybody's interested in partaking in the group, please let me know. Send me an email at catwilsoncoach@gmail.com, and I'll invite you into the meeting. We have 2 attorneys watching out for us online, and they actually watch out for all alternative therapists, whether they be coaches or whether they be Reiki practitioners, and they work on bills all around the country. So they're really, really aware of what to do. But just letting you know, there's a group of us. We're paying attention. We're watching to see what shows up. Right now, the waters don't seem to have any sharks in it. But it doesn't mean that won't happen. And if it does, please know who it is that represents you, because those will be the people we'll have to seek and connect with to make sure that they're on our side. So anyway, thanks.
Thank you, Kat, and thank you everyone that's been doing all of this, because I've been grateful for a lot of years for your integrities. So Joni, before we leave, are you going to email that email, forward that to us so that we can follow through to make sure we've done the right thing? Thank you.
All right, anything else?
We're just saying, I
Okay.
remember this a long time ago, it's like 40 years ago, when they wanted us to become licensed and all this stuff, and your psychiatrist didn't even want him
Yeah,
to test. And it's
still going around.
still going around.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate it. Nice to see you all. And hopefully we'll see you in our summer conference, which will be in June. I don't remember the date exactly.
22nd.
22nd? Okay, June 22nd. Thanks so much.
You want to?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
So much,
everyone.
everyone.
Arrive safely to your next destination.